me, Diabeto, the mosquito.
Another thing that I've seen recently, people across the country have been seeing, I don't know how you, it's just, people have been seeing things come out of the moon, and they've been recording shit coming out of the moon, and other shit happening. I can't see the moon right now because it's too fucking cloudy. I can't see it. I can't see shit because the moon ain't so fucking cloudy here because all the snow and rain and shit. But yeah, it's been a lot of.
Yeah, I've been hearing that for a long time, and frankly, those stories have been coming out since the moon landing. Yeah, there's been a lot of activity on the moon. Frankly, the biggest talk is that on the dark side of the moon, there's actually a bunch of facilities. And a lot of people believe, and a lot of whistleblowers talk, that we're actually extracting on the moon. Because there's a lot of abundant materials on it that we can get. And there's actually moisture compounds inside of it from frozen liquid and shit like that that we can actually harbor. And we're also trying to terraform bits of the moon. Not terraform in the sense of cultivate, but use it as a station to where we can, you know, exit our orbit, which consumes a lot of fuel, and then shuttle onto the moon to resource and regroup and regather. That way we can reestablish liftoff to really extend, you know, space travel. Because we consume like 90%, 70% of fuel just to get out of our atmosphere. Sure, things are changing now with the Tesla different starships and things like that. And we're advancing even further beyond that with their latest Starship launch, because Tesla just created a new one that now lands itself. So there's a lot of crazy breakthroughs that frankly we've had for a little while that, again, we don't talk about, but whistleblowers have talked about for decades.
The videos that these people have recorded, there's holes that they've seen opening and closing in the moon, like actual recording themselves. Like this dude, like he was an ex-Marine or some shit. He did a recent video, and he said, "How the fuck can y'all tell me there's a fucking hole in the goddamn moon and nobody knows about this shit?" You know what I'm saying? Like he straight up, you know, he didn't bullshit. You know, he did not bullshit, bro. He was straight up like, "How the fuck is this possible? How come nobody ever told us this shit?" You know.
There's a lot of conspiracy on what the moon is, to be honest.
I personally believe it's not real. I believe it's a fake moon. I don't believe we've ever been to the moon, because Stanley Kubrick, the guy who helped direct or film the so-called quote-unquote moon landing, he was the director, and he came out and said that the moon landing was fake, that he filmed and doctored all of it on a set. They actually had video evidence of him back in the day on set with Neil Armstrong and all these people on a set, a Hollywood's fucking set, and everything else. So,
yeah, well, I do believe we've artificially videotaped a lot of the moon landing, because there was no way that we were able to be reaching them, instead be putting it live on TV as they're doing that. But we were there, and not in the, as we were saying we were there, we had other missions and goals and we were doing. All that was a publicity stunt, because it was a space race to make it seem like we're ahead of everyone, while we had our own agendas going about to make sure it actually can go through. While if we've, you know, fabricated and videotaped it like that per se, it would look, it would be, you know, fault proof. We would have it, we would achieve it and get it done, which was the only goal, was to get on the moon and land the flag. But we ourselves had a whole other idea of getting there, which we did and achieved, and we did actually get on the moon and put a flag there. In fact, even latest, in the last like 5 years, China's rover recently not recovered, but found our flag still there on the moon.
Right.
Still standing.
Make sure you get out when you get up here, because I gotta some pretty good work activities around the state.
But yeah, absolutely. I firmly believe the video what we saw is fabricated, and there's many key signs that show it was. But saying that we didn't go there, we've been there actually multiple times. There was multiple missions, and we kept going even after we said we stopped going. But there was a lot of affiliations on why we had to keep bypassing and why we said we're not going there. we're actually told directly not to go back because, well, this is all conspiracy talk.
How come these people are custom things, holes opening out of the moon? How? Why? No. That's just.
Well, I'm getting to that.
That's a lot of people like me believe that isn't a real.
We've been going to the moon for a long time for different missions and satellite reasons and yada yada. For example, there's a famous saying that the moon rung like a bell when one of the shuttles smacked on the planet.
I remember that.
Which they're trying to. A lot of people are trying to say that's proof that the planet itself, or the moon, is hollow, which isn't true at all. I mean, it's not saying that's not true. There could be a core to the moon. I mean, there could be a core to our planet. We're still unrealized what our planet fully is. But what initially happened is that because there isn't much gravity, and since the moon isn't even a planet, it's a moon. It's so much more smaller with a less density than an actual planet, that when something of the size and speed, as said, you know, the shuttle, once it did actually hit the moon, the whole thing started rattling for a while. And it does the same thing when large asteroids hit it, because that happens all the time. Hence all the craters on the planet, or I keep saying planet, on the moon. You know what I mean? But a lot of people blew that story out of proportion.
I don't believe it. I know, but you're entitled to. I'm not saying you should believe. I don't believe it's the real moon. I believe it's put there.
No, I agree.
It's not. I don't believe it's real at all. I believe it's the base, inner base inside of it.
But what is scientifically though, that moon shouldn't be there, that it doesn't share the same mineral components that our planet necessarily has, and that it was an artificial satellite from something else, and we actually don't know where it came from. The same being said, it's way too big to be a satellite for our planet, you know, hence moon, that our planet would be too small to be carrying something of that magnitude. So there actually is a lot of conspiracy about it and why it's there and how it got there. So again, I'm not saying it is or isn't,
right,
because we don't know. And again, a lot of whistleblowers have been saying it's literally a satellite to keep track of Earth, to keep track of everything that goes on. That it's literally just, well, it's basically a giant starship in a sense.